Hey guys, back again. So let me just scroll all the way up. I just created a new application using ng-new. Okay, it takes me down there. Okay, well, it seems I need to wait for this to freaking compile before I can show you. Okay, so that's done. Now, I created a new application using ng-new. The name is Angular 9-testing. So since I use the terminal, it asked me if I wanted routing and the type of stylesheet that I wanted, okay? So I said yes to routing and I said CSS. You can choose SAS, less, or whatever you want. That is not the point here. So this one is already compiled. It took a bit for some reason to compile, but let me just reload the page. Okay, and you can see we have this simple page. Okay, the Angular 9 testing app is running and we can start generating components. So this time, this video, we're going to add the components that we need. Okay, so and let me take a look at this. Well, let's go there at the code with VS Code so I can see what we have there. Source app, and we have the app routing module, which we will need to change a few things, I guess. Component CSS, and okay, well, at least we have that. Let's go to index. We have, okay, it's not index, sorry. So all this style, let me just take a look at this. I usually implement routing myself, so I'm just checking. Okay, that should work. Shouldn't take us too long to add the scaffolding, the rest of the components. So let's actually do that. So let's cancel this compilation. Yep. Okay, and let's clear, and let's say ng generate component. So the component that we're going to generate now is add post. Let's see if that is fast enough. I don't know why it's taking a bit in order to create everything. Okay, you can see that it takes a little bit. I don't know if it's the terminal or the first time I use this. Okay, ng-c for component, the other one is main. So okay, that's nice. ng generate component again, and the other one is going to be services. I call that other in the other example. So let's call it services now. Okay, and we will need one more, which is ng generate component and post. We will need a service, so let's say clear again, ng generate service, which is going to be a posts. Yep, so that should be post that service. Yep. Okay, so we have everything and we will need to just do the rest. Ng serve and start working on implementing the basics, so we have at least the routing and all that, and we can start working later in the application. So all this is going to be gone, and let me just take a look at my app components so I can see what we have. So let me just copy this and paste it. So we have a div. This is just going to be the setting up of the components, just to have the basic routing, and it's going to be just that. Okay, so but I want to show you because sometimes some people get lost for some reason. Okay, so yeah, this is a div class container. Okay, we have the navigation here with the router link, and it's going to take us. So this one is going to be service. So let's actually change that services. Okay, so I had the name of other there because I didn't really knew at the moment what I was going to do with that component, so I just set other in order to create one. So yeah, and add post. Okay, so let's save this. We have the router outlet here, and that should work. Okay, but we don't see anything there because there's nothing in the routing modules. But we will need to do something that is quite boring, but let me just do this. So we're going to say add post dash routing. We need to do this in order to get lazy routing that module ts. Okay, so let me just double check. Okay, because okay, and add post that module ts. Okay, so we are going to do the setting up. Okay, okay. So we're going to import the ng module, routes and router module. Okay, the add post component, which is the component we created, and this is one problem because we have a b here, shouldn't be there. Okay, and this is the reference to the component, the ng module for the component, and we are exporting the add post routing module. Okay, so let's save this, and we will need to go to the add post module and grab. Okay, this freaking keyboard is kind of new, but it's already performing really bad, so we'll need to buy another one. So we have the import for the ng module, common module, routing module, which is the one we created, and the post component itself. We will need reactive forms module here, but we still need to add it inside our component TS, so we will do that in a second, just to set up all this. Okay, so let's save it, and you can see, in case you need, for example, you download a module and you need it to use in this specific component, you can add it in the app component TS and then add it here. Okay, so that would be the way to do it, and then add it inside this my awesome, I don't know, whatever you install. Now, just a heads up in case you don't know how to work with these modules, but that should be it, and it's the same for the rest. So I'm just going to do it again. Main that routing, which is the convention routing that module ts, and we generate another one, which is the main module, main that module ts. Okay, so this one is going to allow us to call the specific component, so we can lazy load what is inside without too much problem. Post that module ts, and we need another one. I'm just doing this by hand. Of course, we need to do this service says routing that module ts, and I'm going to paste the rest in a second. Services.ts, that module .ts. I'm doing this again just like this because sometimes some people get lost. They are not used to work with this. Okay, we do the same. In this case, we grab the main component, we set the main route for this, and okay, we export the module, the routing module. And that's why I'm going to do it one by one. Okay, so you can see it's actually the same. We need also here, no, in this case we don't need this. Why do I have that? Because I thought I was going to add a form, so we can actually delete that. Okay, So it's the same. We're exporting the main component, the routing component module, sorry, and the main module, which is going to have the specification for the routing. Now we need the post. You can see it's the same, except that we're going to add the post component. The routes is the same because it's going to reference this component, and we set the routing and we export the post routing module for this component. And we need inside the module, is that right? Okay. And here we do need the reactive forms, although we're not going to use those because we don't have the update. Let's just remove that. And we need the HTTP client module for the lazy loading, okay? But of course we will need to add this one again in the app component.ts still, okay? So we need another one, the service routing module, which in this case was my other. So this one is going to be edited. You can see it shows that this is not a component, so we just need to change this, and this is something that you will only change, okay? So you can copy all that and change the component that you need to reference, and that's it. And of course change the services routing module. We save this, we copy, or I will copy that and paste it, and let's change this because we're referencing, sorry, the service routing module. Okay, it added that again. That's not cool. Let's change the name, services routing module, and this one is services component, and it's the services component that we want. Of course we need to change the imports for the ng module to be the services routing and services component in order to declare that this is a component. Okay, so let's save that. Let's close all these. And okay, we will need to change this. So let's take a look at, we shouldn't see any problem. Let's F12. If it wants to freaking open, okay. So let's change now the routing. So let me just grab that, and you can see we have this constant routes, which is type routes and is an array. So just give me a second. Okay, no, that's Twitter. So sorry, I have my phone. Usually do have it, but I'm just waiting for a project that should start soon. So yeah, sorry about that. So we need to change this to services, which is the folder, and the services module, so that should be okay. And we need to change the path to services because we changed that in the link router. So you can see we just add the imports for the module. The add post is going to take, the only part you need to really be aware is from where you are going to grab it, from the add post folder, the add post module, which is in this case the add post is this one that we created, that is actually getting all the components and the specification for this router. Okay, so let's save that. You can see that okay, this freaking keyboard. So let me just make this smaller so you can see all that, and it's going to load the module itself. So it's going to try to import the file itself and save it or load it as a module. So if it doesn't find the file, then it's going to display an error. Okay, right here. So it's not going to show us an error when we try to go to, when we test inside the application. So that is something that is going to make life easier. So let's say add post, it says add post works, other services works. I forgot to change that. Let me just go to app component and say services. Services, okay, save that, and services, for some reason, okay, I made a mistake. Services, did I change? Okay, let me just go back. Okay, what the hell is going on here? So it doesn't show me. What could be wrong with this? Router link should be working. Okay, okay, okay. Router outlet. Error occurs in the template of component. Okay, so it doesn't like this router outlet. I guess we should. And this is something that is kind of bothering me with Angular now. So it's ng-serve. Okay, the class post component is okay, okay, okay. I think I know why. I fucked that. Okay. Let's see. Let's wait for this to compile. And the problem here, okay, main component is declared by more than one ng module. Yep, I know. I know why. Because um, app component.ts app module. Where the hell? I cannot see that. Service. Okay, well, I'm so freaking blind. So we have post component services main add post component, and I'm going to leave a app component there. So let's remove this and let's remove this, okay, and save it, and that should work. It's compiling still. Okay, and that should work. So what it says, Angular compiler not loading. Okay. So your compilation is correct for production use cases. So it changed the okay, I will fix that then. Is the or was my error is this one? So did I remove something I wasn't? No. Add post services, add post component. Let me just remove this. Remove this. Because app component is what is getting all these components inside. So it's this one. So we cannot remove that. But it seems that is the compiler itself. Okay, let me just check. Okay, this wasn't planned, but let's check this. If other people had this problem, so let me see also. Exception, visual symptom Angular decorators. maybe if I just compile back again, I will take a look at this. App does not compile with Ivy, Angular 9. This is compiling, but it's not. Nope, it's not this. It doesn't seem to be that. Compiler March 1 or March 1st, 2020. It should be. So the problem he sees is that error on promise Angular JIT compilation failed. Okay, so I think I know what the problem is, but I don't know the file on which is stored. So should be because it's okay. Even it says, okay, let me just freaking get back there. Several modules for and serve for deleting a component from the declaration of share mode. This is just like this. So also happens here sometimes, not 100% yet when exactly, but I think when making changes that would need a reload of modules. Okay, so that could be the problem. Yep. So you can see sometimes you need you really need to check this. Okay, because let's say this. Okay, blah 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 blah. Okay, let's make this a little bigger. Also happens here sometimes, not 100% yet when exactly, but it seems when deleting a component from the declarations array in this case, what we did wrong or what I did wrong, and I didn't see that message before, I just deleted from the app module.ts, deleted the rest of the components that created. Okay, you can create them without having them to add here. So, but I forgot that. But the problem is that we needed to refresh because the module itself, or Angular, let's call it the engine, didn't know or didn't find those modules. Okay, so it seems to be that problem. So let me just, okay, I cannot really see the history here, but yeah, that's kind of the problem. It's kind of odd. So let me just, yeah, update all dependencies, add AOT true, but that is not the problem. Yeah, because if it was the compilation engine that is using, we should still see that problem. But if we clear the cache and go back, you can see that it's not displaying the error because now everything is fine. Okay, so that should be a problem. And sometimes I actually do this. I actually just close the process and restart the server in case there is something wrong, because sometimes when you delete a file, Angular doesn't directly know, so you will need to restart the server, and sometimes it does know what is going on. So it's kind of weird. So as the comment says, I'm not sure exactly when it works and when it doesn't, but in this case with this specific error, it seems that it just needs to you can see that we get a ton of monkey code kinda, so we get a ton of answers, but don't break your head too much with this. Don't bang your head too hard with all this. Just try the easiest one first and then move from the to the rest. Okay, so yeah, that wasn't intended, but I think it was a good thing to see what was the JIT compilation fail error. So it was only because we deleted the components and Angular didn't understand where to find those. But okay, so this is the basic thing. Okay, everything is working, you can see. And then in the next video we're going to start actually creating. I think we're going to start with the services because that is the easiest one to start with unit testing. So and that's it guys, and see you in the next one.